Hello everyone, I'm back in DM, and I thought what would also maybe be interesting, especially if you're not from Germany, is the huge selection of natural foods we have here at DM in Germany, which is another reason why so many people come here to shop, because it's all bio, which means organic in German, or in Europe we say bio, not just Germany, and it's really, really affordable. I mean, you have so much to choose from, all these dried fruits and nuts, and then down there is muesli, and over on the other side is all kinds of beans and pastas, and I thought it might be interesting just to have a little bit of a nose around and see what we have here in Germany that might be interesting for, people from other parts of the world, and to see if they might like this. So I'll start up over here. This is called Studentenfutter, and it's really popular here in Germany. It has all kinds of nuts and raisins and sultanas in there. And it's really, really popular. Studenten, obviously a student, and it's a brain food. Has walnuts, almonds, cashews. Yeah, really, really popular here. Both my sons like to eat that. And then they have a similar version, which is the cranberry cashew mix. $3.45 for that one. Sorry, the price for Studentenfutter is $2.75, and it's a 350-gram bag. Over here we have walnuts. That's 150 gram, and again, it's all organic. Bio is organic, and it's €65 for that. More cashew cranberry mix. Over here we have cashews. This is the Bruch, meaning that they're all broken, and so you get them at a discounted price, because most people, myself included, don't necessarily care, unless maybe you bake with it or something, whether or not they're broken. They don't end up in one piece in your tummy anyway. So here we have dates for €65. I'm assuming those are just I think, is it deglet or neglet, nur? One of the two. There's a type of date that's really popular, or kind of standard here. Here, next up we have banana chips, which, those are so tasty. Those are €45. The mangoes are gone, 100 grams for $1.95, which I think is a good price, but as do other people, obviously, because they're gone. Here we have apricots, and they're dark because they don't have Schwefel, which is, I can't think of the English word right now for Schwefel, but it's what you add, sulfur, I think. It's what you add to keep them pink, or not pink, but the typical apricot color. Next up we have apple chips. Those are €65. And here's apple rings, $2.45. I'll start back over here again. Down here is figs, and it's 350 grams for $3.65. Sun-dried dates up here. And this is, more dates. Here we have coconut chips, raisins, 500 grams for $2.95. Over here we have goji berries, $4.95, 450 grams. California prunes without the pit for 200 grams for $2.95. And then you have ginger, candied ginger, 100 grams, $1.65. Cranberries for these are sweetened cranberries. 100 grams is $2.25. Sesame seeds, ungeschält is, I'll think of it later. but you get 500 grams for $2.25. And then over here you have linseeds, I think they're called in English. Yeah, 500 grams for €1.55. These are whole linseeds. And over here you have geschrotet, meaning they're like split already. They're $1.55. The whole ones are 500 grams and the split ones are 400. Let's go down this way. Here we have, what was in there? Cashew mango mix. Mango is popular right now. Well, summer. $3.45, that's gone. Over here, Heidelbeeren, which is blueberries, freeze-dried. So $2.75 for 25 grams. It's quite expensive. But they look like, maybe that doesn't say, but they're also organic. And then the freeze-dried strawberries are all gone. 25 grams, $2.75. And then here we have freeze-dried Himbeeren raspberries, also $2.75. More nuts over here. Crunchy fava snack. Nuts and berries. Yeah, Seeberger is also a big brand in Germany that sells nuts and like trail mix kind of things. But I think they're usually a little bit more expensive. So we'll keep going down here. Sunflower seeds for 500 grams for €1.35. Here's a big bag of Haferflocken that doesn't belong here. Over there we have, I'll put that stuff if I find out where it is later. So sunflower seeds are €1.35 for 500 grams. Kürbiskerne down this way is 225 grams for pumpkin seeds, by the way, for $2.15. And then down here we have chia seeds. 300 grams, $1.85. And here is Hanf, is hemp seeds. 200 grams is $2.95. Here on the bottom we have Amaranth. I do not know what that's called. Gepufft, puffed, quinoa puffed, Hirse. I am sorry, I do not know what these things are called in English. And over there we have soya, and then more oats. Oats and many different varieties over here. You can have them fine. And again, up here is that symbol, that Ökotest, meaning that it's been tested independently, and they got a sehr gut, which is very good, which is the highest mark you can get. This one here, the Feinblatt, meaning it's, I believe the Großblatt is steel cut, and then this is like, it'll cook a lot quicker. Let's see, what else do we have up here? We have a lot of different porridges. Weizenkleie Basis porridge with Dinkel und Flohsamen. And then over here, Basen in Balance, all different little flavors you can get. Buchweizen, buckwheat, Erdmandeln, almonds. Dinkel is, I can't think of the English word. I think it's what you use if you're gluten intolerant. A lot of people here, anyway, in Germany use Dinkel, and I can't think of the English word. And then over here we have cacao Dinkel, again the Dinkel with hazelnuts, different fruits, different types of mueslis, Haferkleie. Over here, mit Keim, Haferkleie. Kinderfrüchtemüsli, Kinderknuspermüsli. Yeah. And they're all really quite affordable. $1.85. You can't. Okay, you can get paleo muesli. 15% nuts in here. $3.75. This is really nice. I've tried this one. Canna und Saaten granola. Very, very nice. Tasty. €4. There's also, of course, chocolate, more dinka fruits. We have berries down there. What else do we have? Different fiacon, 4 different types of like oats and quinoa and whatever is in there. More oatmeal, puffed oats, and different cereals down this way. And they will all run you between €2 and €5, I would say. Seems to be the most average price. And then another thing that we love here in Germany is Vollkornbrot. So it's like bread that is really completely natural, very unprocessed. This one I think has a really good rating, this pure. There's very minimal ingredients in here. Really healthy, very satiating. Here we have it with protein. Knäckebrot is popular in Germany. I guess these are little seeds if you want to plant let's say petersilie, no. Petersilie is parsley. Schnittlauch is chives. Dill, basil, thyme. All different types. Little for if you want to grow your own salad. And then this is really, really popular in Germany. Zwieback. And it's basically a toast that's dehydrated and super crunchy. I'm sorry, I'm not even focusing on it. And super crunchy, and it's so tasty. You put a bit of butter on it and some jam. Oh, it's so nice. And oftentimes you can give it, it's very natural. There's nothing really in there. You can give it to toddlers and they'll sort of, you know how they do, chew on it for 20 minutes and then wear half of it. And these are matcha powder, $6.75. Wheatgrass, Hagebutte is also really popular in Germany, but I can't think of what it's called in English. Hagebutte. I think it's rosebud. You make a jam out of it here too. Very, very tasty. Ashwagandha, and then this is curcuma. Curcuma. I mean, this is really endless. Here now we have more these like vegan spreads you can put on your bread. I mean, anything and everything, and most of them are really quite tasty, I have to say. Obviously down here we have applesauces, jams, some honey, tahini, like their own type of super healthy, just kidding, Nutella type thing.
Eine Kasse habe ich nicht.
Genau, hier.
Hold on.
Ja, aber den Aushang hier, den Produktaushang.
Over here we have different spreads you can put on your bread, and different flavors: sweet potato, tomato, lentils. It's really they have a lot of choice here in Germany for things like that. If you're into vegan food, or just an alternative to lunch meat and whatever. Peanut butter over here. Koro is also a big. It used to only be online, but they're all, I believe, all organic and natural. Different jams, like I said. Applesauce down that way. Look over here. We have oat milks, things like that. But let me show you this as well real quick. Here we have all the different natural or organic pastas that are really popular. I believe that Rumo pasta is you have that in the United States as well. It's popular. It's really good quality. Different kinds of pastas, and up here we have quinoa and polenta, dinkelgrieß, different kinds of lentils, beluga, berglinsen, red lentils, yellow lentils, and quite affordable, $2.55 for the more quote-unquote exotic ones, like the red ones and the beluga that you don't get that often. You can, Milchreis is a big thing here in Germany, and it's rice that you basically cook in milk, and then oftentimes you put a bit of sugar and cinnamon on top, and that's really popular here. What else? Different rices. Risotto rice, $2.65 for 500 grams is not a bad price. Yeah. It's a little bit of, show you a little bit of what we have here in the natural food aisle at the DM. Fränkischer Grünkern. I have to check what that is. But this is all very, very German, very healthy. Different flours, all organic. Some sweeteners, date syrup, rice syrup, agave syrup, and of course down here we have oh my gosh, I can't think of the word right now. Ahornsirup, Canadian maple syrup. Yeah, that's really just a part. Buchweizen, buckwheat. Anyway, I could go on. Like I said, I mean it's the whole aisle down that way, and it's really popular. A lot of the organic, healthy food people enjoy eating it here. Down here we have protein bars, protein powders, and let's see, I can show you real quick. The protein powders, their own brand, seem to run about from €7 up to the most expensive I can see there is €17. Clear whey protein. I don't know what the quality of this is. I don't take protein powders. Protein bars. This seems to be, their own brand is 85 cents. Mit Birthday Cake Geschmack. Pistachio, caramel, peanut caramel. 34% protein. Oh, salted caramel. This looks nice. Himbeer, raspberry, a raspberry crisp. Yeah, those are 85 cents. Then Power Bar is $1.65 a bar. And then the Bear Bells are $2.65. And what else do we have? Cliff Bars. They have little peanut butter protein cups. Peanut butter pudding. Yeah. Pistachio cream protein. Goodness, okay. And then here's some drinks, kombucha, sports drinks, and Apfelschorle is really popular in Germany. It's like almost one of our national drinks. It's sparkling water and apple juice. It's simple, easy peasy, but absolutely delicious. And here we also have these like pure juices. So you would dilute it with water. This is elderberry juice, pomegranate down there, superfruit, immune, cassis, which is my favorite. I love cassis, which is blackcurrant. Otrunk, it's a fermented bread drink, which is really, really healthy. And then over here we have Rabenhorst. That's like a really popular drink for well, not this one particularly. If I find it, they have smaller ones. and they make those for like kids, and they have added vitamins, usually iron and vitamin C and things like that. And that's super, super popular here. And those are $3.95. But you don't, you obviously can't drink the whole bottle. It would be too much. Yeah, and that's it here in the health food aisle at DM. I hope you enjoyed having a quick look around with me. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Bye-bye.